For the best Arabic online courses, visit www.maysor.com.
There's not another single soul that can come close. He's happy they're together, but he wants to be in Jannah most. A paradise so exquisite, feel it so near. And if he leaves before her, he'll be waiting till her soul's there. Okay, Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تمسك بسنته إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. Let's do this. How we gonna do it?
Sorry, everyone.
Yeah. So all right. Primarily, the reason why we've started these, I don't know, vlogs or inshallah ta'ala what will be regular updates is because there's been a long period of time on social media where I've been silent. I've been getting some messages from a few people to see if everything's okay, because they haven't seen me post or hear from me in a few weeks or so. And the honest reason as to why I've been quiet is because I just found social media to be quite draining recently. Really draining. I'm constantly checking it, and it's something that I don't like, about my personal personality. So I just wanted just to stay away. Oh, careful. He's a Muslim, man. I'm not saying careful just because he's a Muslim, by the way. I'm just saying careful. I said he's a Muslim, by the way, from the bricks of the masjid. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of detox, and I don't know, I just find it a bit just futile. There's way more things to be focusing on than, social media. Okay, back to where we were. I was saying that I just needed to basically detox from social media. And around the time that I was detoxing from social media, Hello?
Hello, I'm busy right now. Can I call you later?
Hey, listen, I'm busy right now. Can you call me later? Now, real talk. Let me shout you in a bit, inshallah.
It's urgent.
No, it was literally 2 second quick question. I just want to know what colour your shade of beige is, because I was gonna go hair base after work. Things like 2.
What colour my shade of what is? What's going on?
We don't know,
I
don't know about Becky.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to look at the pictures. Do you know why? Because I've been trying to find that colour so I can repaint it, so it can give it a fresh paint, but I can't find it. I don't know which one it is, and I asked the builder, and the builder also said, oh, he can't find which one it is. He's not sure.
What were you asking him to do?
The paint colour of our passage.
Yeah.
I've been trying. Remember I asked him what's the colour, so I can.
But what are you asking Suleiman to do?
No, Becky wants to paint hers the same colour as ours.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's all ugly right now. But I don't know what. I don't want to get the wrong colour, and it looks. You come in like, oh, Becky, this is not the colour.
No,
I can't remember what yours is.
Just look online. Send me pictures and tell me, and then I'll let you know if it looks like it. It might not be the exact colour, but it'll be similar. Okay.
Okay. Are you able to respond before 2? To your message, WhatsApp message?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright then.
Alright, Hody.
Thank you.
Right,
I'll look now.
You're welcome, babe. I am driving right now, so I'll message you in half an hour.
No, that's cool.
Alright, bye.
Bye, love you.
I love you too. Sorry about that.
Was this take 3?
Sorry.
I needed to detox from social media. And around the time I needed to detox from social media, I received my first result from the private scan that I did in December. Alright, if you guys, I think the last time you guys would have heard me mention anything about the cancer story. By the way, my wife's driving, by the way. Good thing I got my seatbelt on, that's what I'm saying, babe. Just intabihi, man. Wallahi, intabihi. It's dangerous.
It's snowing.
Yeah, I don't know if this vlog thing's a good idea. I can't get my thoughts out in a coherent way.
I'm driving safely, just focus.
Alright, so so around the time that I decided to take a detox from social media. That was if you guys remember, it would have been around December. So I don't remember the exact date in December where I had my private scan. Was it at the beginning of December?
No, middle.
The middle.
Was that the 12th?
The 12th, yeah. Don't bust it. So I had my scan around the 12th, and it was a private scan. And the reason why I had the private scan was because I wanted an independent assessment of my situation. For some strange reason, I just didn't feel that, I don't even know if I should say what I feel. I feel like on the NHS, I just don't think they're going to be as transparent as... There's two reasons. Number one, the results were going to come back quicker on the private scan.
Yeah.
That's number one. The reason why I went private for the PET scan was the results were going to come back quicker. And secondly...
There was an 8-week gap, wasn't there? Before we
That's
got
it.
our last results.
That's it, subhanallah. All right. Let me rewind then. So my scan before that was in October.
Yeah, the 1st of October.
I had a scan on the 1st of October. And I had that was a PET scan. And I had a CAT scan slightly before that. CT scan. So what happened was I got my CT results fairly soon after that. And for those of you that saw the clip, I'm probably going to add it in here where I recorded Nimshi. For those of you that saw the clip where I recorded, well, my wife actually recorded the phone conversation with one of the oncologists where she gave me the good news, and then I broke down crying and stuff like that. It was really, really emotional. That was the result to the CAT scan in October. But whenever...
Results catch in
September.
Yeah.
Results to this, you're right, because the PET was the 1st of October.
Yeah.
That was the results to the CAT scan that I did sometime towards the end of September. صح?
No.
طيب. And then I had my PET scan in October, and I never heard anything from them. So I was assuming, because I got the results from the CAT scan, that everything was okay. And I'm repeating this information because I've actually said this on Instagram, but for those of you that are following on YouTube for the first time, this is probably new information. So guys, when I eventually, some nearly 7 weeks later, got the results from that PET scan that I did on the 1st of October, it knocked me for 6 when they told me that it had grown. And I got those results face to face in the hospital. So I was going there primarily, according to what I was under the impression of, to speak about my lymphedema, which is a condition that started to affect certain parts of my body. So when I went, I obviously knew that we were going to just speak about the results from the PET scan, because for 7 weeks I hadn't heard anything, and I just assumed that everything was okay, but that wasn't the case. The oncologist was sitting with me to speak about the results from that test. So when we sat down, he was like, apologies that it's taken so long to... What did he say? He said something along the lines of, apologies it's taken so long. Or did I say, why is it taking so long? And then he apologized. Ala kulli hal, he apologized for it taking so long. But I was just like, I wasn't even phased, because I'm like, we got great results from we got a great result from the CAT scan. Ala kulli halin, he basically told me what he told me, that it got worse. So then he was like, look, we need to think about taking chemo. And that's when I said, if I don't take chemo, how long would you give me? That's when he said a couple of months, right? So then I said, you know what? I just need another scan, because that 7-week gap since the last PET scan I had, anything could have happened in that time in terms of my body. It could have got worse, it could have got better. So I don't want to make a decision to take chemotherapy, which ultimately is going to change the next few months of my life in some capacity, when I don't know what the latest diagnosis is. So I didn't want to go on the NHS because it would have taken so long, and I was a bit burnt and a bit salty that it took 7 weeks to get my results back. So I said, look, alhamdulillah, I've got the money to go private, let me go private, and they can give you the results sometimes the next day. So I did that. We searched for a doctor, we found a Muslim doctor, and obviously being a Muslim myself, I just felt a bit more just comfortable, to be honest, with another Muslim. Like, there's no hidden agenda. That's how I feel. And I'm not saying that a non-Muslim doctor has a hidden agenda at all. I've met some really, really lovely non-Muslim doctors and district nurses and stuff like that. I'm just speaking about how I felt at the time. So we found a doctor at London College Hospital. London Bridge Hospital, sorry. found a doctor. Should I say his name or not say his name? No need, right? Anyway, I found a doctor at the London Bridge Hospital, and I went there for my private scan. And then I think, like, let's say I done it on a Friday, on the Monday or something like that, Monday or the Tuesday, it was really, really quick. He had the results for me, and the results to that scan weren't good. You know, it weren't good. It confirmed basically what the scan and the NHS said, and that was that things are getting bad. It's growing. Like, I think that's what they said. It was in my left collarbone, in my tail. It's starting to go in my tailbone, and it's grown in the areas around my groin areas, like either side of my groin, and my adrenal gland.
Yeah, on both sides.
And also like basically deep within my towards my back, but not my back as such. I think they call them the adrenal glands, the left and right. So then that was like really disappointing, because I really started to wait, when did that was okay. Alright, so okay. Alright, I got it. So my diet's been clean for a long time, but then obviously after those two scans, the one in, you know, the one I had in the 1st of October and then the one in December, I said to them, okay, they said, what do I want to do? And I thought, you know what, I need to really go back hard again. I need to really go back hard, clean up my diet even more. Not saying that my diet was bad, but I cleaned up even more. Like I haven't eaten, I don't eat nothing with sugar, no fizzy drinks, no fast food. I might have started introducing chicken back into my diet, and stuff like this, and eggs, but other than that, you know, no cheese. I just stayed away from everything that I'm supposed to stay away from. But this time I said, you know what, I'm gonna go even harder, and then I started taking some more supplements and stuff like that. So we agreed that the most sensible, so that was private. Yeah, that was private. So then I said, give me another scan like towards the end of January, and I made a decision. I said, look, by that time I'm going to make a decision after that, because I understand that I can't keep having scan after scan after scan, and I also understand that it's not good for me, you know, all that radiation and stuff going into my body, and it's not nice. It's a lot of pressure on the, sorry guys, a lot of pressure on the body, getting you know, jabbed up with needles. In fact, the last time I went for a scan, which was on the 29th of January, so today is what, the 8th? I'm recording this on the 8th?
I think so.
The 8th or so, let me check. I'm recording this on the 9th, Tuesday the 9th. This is probably going to be released tomorrow, but yeah, the last time they gave me a PET scan, they jabbed me up 7 times. They were successful in the 7th time, and on the 6th time I said, enough, I'm going home, there's no more. You know, I was in the PET scan department. They tried 4 times. I went to the chemotherapy department, because each nurse can only try 2 times, it's like policy. They tried twice. So that's 6 times. I said, that's it, I'm going. I hadn't eaten because I had to fast from the night before. You know, I'm in pain now, and you know, I'm just feeling queasy. I just want to go home. And then there was one Chinese lady nurse, her name was Jin, you know. Honestly, Jing. Her name was Jin. I don't understand. And she got it first time, man. She was amazing. I said, Jin, listen, you are going to be my new cannula nurse. Everywhere I go, I'm just going to say, I want Jin, you know. Because I didn't even feel it go in. I did not even feel it go in. And that was really nice. Anyway, I recently, a couple days ago, I got the results from that scan. So what happened was, I had it on the 29th. So come like the 2nd or the 1st of Feb, it must have been like the 2nd of Feb. Is it bleeding again?
Yeah.
I don't understand, man. You pick it. Come the 2nd of Feb, one of the oncologists called me, and I was like, wow, like they never call this quick. This must be something about just a rudimentary or just a standard routine. Yeah, routine. Are we doing this? You don't want, let's not do this right now. You just concentrate on your little finger with the card. I thought it was just a routine phone call. There is such a word, something like rudimentary.
Okay.
Yeah, if I check it up. I just don't know if I use it in the correct context.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. So yeah, so he called me, and I thought it was just a routine phone conversation, but he was phoning to give me the results. So you can imagine my heart's beating. My wife's standing next to me, sitting next to me. It was like early in the morning, like maybe like 10 o'clock. So then he's like, "Hi, Mr. Bowman, this is so and so from, you know, the oncology department at guys in St. Thomas's Hospital. I'm calling regarding your scan results." And unfortunately, I was like, what happened there? You know what I'm saying? Like, as soon as he said unfortunately, the phone cut off. So now I'm like, okay, this don't sound good at all. And then my wife, you know, sahibatu optimism, she was like, maybe he was gonna say to you, unfortunately we couldn't compare, like, it's like proper ba'id jiddan, you know, unfortunately we couldn't compare this result to your private result. And I was like, okay, you know what, as ba'id as far-fetched as that is, she might have a point, you know. Ba'id means far, but hina or huna, I'm speaking about if something's ba'id, it's when somebody's speaking, you say that's kalam ba'id, that's like far-fetched. Anyway, as far-fetched as it was, I thought maybe she's got a point. So then Sam was like, he's probably just still talking, not knowing that the phone's cut off. Lo and behold, he calls back some 10 minutes later, and he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Bowman, I didn't realize the phone cut off." So he must have been just talking, not realizing that the phone cut off. So then I was like, look, the last thing I heard you say was unfortunately. Go on.
I was right.
No, you were right about that he was speaking because the phone cut off, but you weren't right about why he said unfortunately.
I know.
You get me? Anyway, so I said, look, the last thing I heard you say was unfortunately. And then he said, yeah, basically, unfortunately, it's got worse. The results have shown that it's gone into your liver. So then, obviously, my heart sunk. And to be honest with you, when he first told me the news, I didn't think I wasn't thinking, I just felt, you know, you can make that. I just felt like, as you probably would imagine anybody would feel after, you know, fighting this deadly disease for 2 years and 3-4 months. And he's talking away, and he's saying that, you know, it's gone into my liver. It's he mentioned that it's grown left and right of my groin, and the adrenals have grown.
Yeah, because so it's spread to the other adrenal. Because with their scan in October,
You have to speak up a little bit, please.
With their scan in October, they only saw it on the left-hand side. They didn't see it on the right, but in our December scan,
The private one
is when we saw it on the right-hand side as well. So it's their first time seeing it. It's spread to both sides.
Okay, so what Sam basically said there, it's the first time that the NHS have seen that the cancer had spread to both sides. The December scan showed that, which was a private scan, but he never had access to those private scans. Although the doctor that was my consultant, that was the oncologist consultant that gave me the results to the private scan, he also is a doctor on the NHS as well. That's how it works. You know, doctors on NHS also do private consultations. So you're effectively seeing the same people. So sometimes, depending on the situation, it could be a waste of money to go private, because the people that are analyzing the results are one and the same. It's just that the pace at which it's processed at is faster. Would you say that's a fair assessment?
Yeah, but also...
Oh, yeah. I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that. All right, guys, 1 second. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon. May you speak with Mr. Christopher Bemont, please?
Speaking. Is that Dr. Jose Roca?
Yeah, speaking. Hello, Christopher.
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you.
All right. We expected to see you here face to face, yeah, today in the hospital, yeah?
Yeah, I spoke to Laura Dobson, and I mentioned to her that due to the pace at which everything has been moving recently, and with all due respect to yourself, I don't think that you meant to do it on purpose, and she assured me that was the case, but I already knew it. But I just felt the tone of the conversation had me feeling very, very vulnerable and very, very scared. Hence why I didn't feel comfortable at the pace at which things were moving. So I asked her politely if I could get those scan reports sent to me, which I requested when we spoke, I think on the 2nd of February. And I needed just a little bit more time because I still want to go, well, I'm still interested in going ahead with the chemo. It's just that it basically, I just felt like I was losing control of everything. Like we spoke on the 2nd, which was the Tuesday. I got a call on the Thursday from Katie, and one of the nurses, saying that we're going to book you in next Thursday for the PIC line, and then you're going to start chemo on the next date, for the Friday. So I was like, whoa, I haven't even got my reports yet from Dr. Rocker. And you know, I left the phone conversation that day with you feeling quite down and sad, to be honest.
Yeah, because I think that well, I was a bit surprised also, because after the last Tuesday when we spoke last, yeah, you, I think, emailed Laura Dobson and you said that you want to go ahead with chemo. So for this reason, we offered you the appointment today as a face-to-face to discuss the PET, and also, obviously, before the chemo starts, anyway, we need to see you because we need to go through the treatment and sign together a consent, okay? Obviously, the timings, you manage the timings, okay, when you feel ready, but we need to know, okay, because obviously the time plays against us, okay, more than we delay, okay, maybe you can become unwell and not fit for treatment, right?
I understand.
Yeah, so I have we asked one of our radiologists to compare the PET, okay, the last PET from the 29th of January with the previous one that you have on the 18th of December, yeah?
Yep.
So do you want to know the outcome or yeah?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I asked you for, Dr. Rocker. Of course I want to know the outcome, please.
So, unfortunately, they confirmed that there is further progression in the last PET scan, okay? In comparison with the scan just before Christmas, with the 18th of December. They say that they write an addendum, and they said that there are at least 4 new liver metastases, okay, in the PET in January, that they were not in the PET in December.
Yep.
Both adrenal metastases have increased in size, okay?
How much have they increased in size?
They are not, has not been reported. They just said that it has been increased in size, okay?
Okay.
There is a new metastasis in the L1 vertebra, okay? That is the first vertebra of the lumbar area, okay?
Whereabouts is that on the body in like layman's
This
terms?
is the lower back.
How low? Is it like where my bum is?
Around in the L1 is around of your breast in the back, okay?
Your waist?
My waist.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, so
but in the back, yeah?
Basically the lowest point of your back.
Yes.
Okay.
More or less, okay? It's L1. It's difficult to, but more or less, yes, it's quite lower in the back, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And then that's it?
There is increase in the uptake of the lesions in the sacrum, okay, that is just farther down in the back, okay. Right. And also here in the pelvis, in the right side, okay, there is some uptake in the right bone, okay, in the pelvis, okay, that is quite small, but it looks like it was new and was not seen in the previous scan in December. Okay.
Okay. And what about the left pelvis?
And the lymph nodes, go now. The lymph nodes in the base of the neck, here in the left supraclavicular area, that is in the base of the neck on the left area, okay, has increased in size in comparison with the previous scan in December. Also, they are more hot, they are more active. Basically, this is an interpretation of the summary of all that. Is overall there has been a significant disease progression since the last recent external PET CT in December, with multiple new sites of disease and progression of the previously seen metastasis as described above. Okay, so basically there are 4 new liver mets that they are new in comparison with December. The adrenal metastasis has increased in size. There is 1 new lesion in IL-1, and they're more hot in the other bone metastasis and also in the lymph nodes.
And has there been anything positive? Was there any regression of the disease in any area that they noticed?
Has not been reported. Sorry, no.
Okay, no worries.
Unfortunately, there is at least the disease has increased.
I understand. My next question, Dr. Rocker, is that information. How quickly can you email that over to me? That report over to me?
You mean the report of this PET, yeah?
Yeah, basically what you just read to me, the comparison report, and the one from the 29th.
Yeah, I can. It's everything in one report, okay? What they do, this Dr. Sugama, is basically create an addendum on the 29th PET report, okay? So I can ask one of the CNSs to email you or to send you, okay?
Today, please.
No.
Together in the same report.
Yeah, I mean, you can send a physical copy, that's fine, but I would really urgently need an email, please, of that report today, because I was expecting the report from the 29th emailed, but I haven't got that yet. I just need literally...
Okay.
Yeah,
What I'm saying is, so what I read now is an addendum that was created on the top of the previous report of the 29th, okay? So basically they are both in the same report, okay?
No, that's fine. As long as they're dated and it's clear.
I will ask Sarah or Rebecca, one of my nurses, that to send you an email, okay? Now, okay? But obviously, I don't know right now because we are in the middle of a clinic, okay? But if not this afternoon, they will send you, okay?
By today, that's great. Thank you so much, Dr. Rocker, for your time.
All right. So what you want to do next, Christopher? You want us to...
Dr. Rocker,
obviously...
Dr. Rocker, with all due respect, this is what I spoke to Laura Dobson. I can't just make a decision just like this over the phone. I need to sit down, I need to speak to my family. I spoke to Laura I spoke to one of the nurses via email, and I spoke to Laura last week. And I said to her that once I get the report, I want to, just do my own searching for maybe like a week or so, and then I'll get back to you guys within about a week and a half or so.
Okay, so you will, once you, at the moment, it's okay if I book you, or you prefer that you think about that and you will contact Laura, about what you are going to decide, yes?
Exactly. I'm probably going to go ahead with it, Doctor. But I'm just saying that I just need time. I can't just hear information.
Speed trap reported ahead.
And then just make a decision right now. It's a lot to take in.
Yeah, we appreciate that, but okay.
Yeah. But
okay, any other questions for me today, Christopher?
No, I don't think I have any other questions. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay, so in summary, at the moment, obviously the appointment for the chemo was cancelled on Thursday. So we will send you the report and the addendum of the 29th and now by email, okay, this afternoon, okay? And you will let us know when you are ready,
Yes.
or when you want us to see you, okay?
Yes,
Yeah?
that's good. Thank you so much, Dr. Rocker.
All right, you're welcome.
All
Bye.
right. Have a nice day. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm saying it's rough. Alhamdulillah, hamdan kathiran. Yeah, it's not the end. It's bad, but it's not the end. Do you know what I'm saying? The way I like to look at it, babes, is that at the moment, alhamdulillah, I'm still alive and I'm still kicking. So for so long as somebody's still alive, they've always got hope. Do you know what I'm saying? For so long as I'm still alive, I've always got hope. I accept the diagnosis, but I don't accept the prognosis. That's with Allah. Whatever's gonna happen. Do you know what I'm saying? Let's stay positive. We're taking the asbab right now, seeing professionals, and do you know what I'm saying? And then if I have to take it, then I'll make a decision within the next week or so. Yeah, inshallah, everything's gonna be khair, inshallah. So there you have it, guys. You just heard it fresh when I heard it. I forgot. Can you remember what I was saying before the phone conversation?
No.
I think I was basically
Just going through it.
the order. I mean, in a nutshell, I got the results from the private PET scan. I think I was leading up to that. I got the results. He told me that it had got worse, and I just didn't feel. I didn't have the motivation or the energy or the desire to post it anymore. It was just like I was burnt out. So the only people that I told was just like close family, friends and family. And then when I got the results recently, to the one on the 29th, the gentleman that just called me, he called me on, like, I believe it was the 2nd of Feb, and that's when he gave me the results to the 29th of January scan. And I only told the staff at LMA, my family, close friends, and even at that, it was only people that would call me and say, like, how's everything going? And then I would explain it. I wasn't even volunteering the information, and I told the parents at the Little Mesa Academy, which my wife and I are running at the moment, because the parents mean a lot to me, number one. Number two, we're currently teaching online, and again, it wasn't even all the parents. It was only the parents that are teaching that whose children are attending the online sessions that we're doing during COVID, because the way I saw it was that I'm offering a service to them, and now I'm potentially going to take chemotherapy, which may is the word inhibit my ability or prevent my ability to teach, so I felt it was the right thing to do, to inform them. And that's it, guys. And then I said to myself, you know what, I felt like I had a bad experience. I mean, that doctor, mashallah, just now, he was quite polite.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? But the first time I spoke to him, guys, I was asking him some questions, like, I think it was a breakdown in communication, or a language barrier. But I was asking him a question: does the results show progression of the cancer in my left side of my body here? Because my collarbone area, because I know that's where the private scan said it was. So when he gave me the results to the NHS scan a month later, he never mentioned that. So I suppose I was just a bit of wishful, hopeful thinking. And then he thought I was trying to say he wants me to compare results, and he goes, I'm an oncologist, I'm not a radiologist. I'm sorry, Mr. Bowman, but we can't continue this conversation. And I literally was having a build-up of anxiety. I thought he was literally going to hang up the phone on me, but alhamdulillah, that never happened. So what happened, when I came off the phone to him, I spoke to my mum and my dad and my wife, and I said, you know what, I'm going to take the chemo. It was kind of like a rush decision. I said, khalas, I've tried everything. I've been getting my blood oxygenated. I've been getting all these vitamins and changing up my diet. Nothing seems to be working so far. Like, this disease is really trying to take over. So I emailed them, and then I started to think more than feel. You know what I'm saying? And started to say, well, let's slow things down a little bit. And let me understand what's happening. And do I really? I think I spoke to my the homeopathic, right? Doctor, who I'm actually going to see right now to do another bioscan. I spoke to her and she was like, it's really strange because how they're saying the cancer has progressed. I don't know about you guys, but I don't look like I look like a cancer victim or cancer patient, nor do I feel necessarily. I mean, I've got the lymphedema, and sure, occasionally I get aches and pains in my body, but who doesn't? I sit in front of the computer for many hours of the day working on my business, you know, like an unfathomable amount of hours. There we go. So you're gonna get aches and pains in your body, so I don't really pay too much attention to that, but at the same time I'm obviously not going to be negligent of something that's hurting. So she said, look, she would recommend another scan, which is what I'm doing right now, and she wouldn't recommend that I do anything that I'm not comfortable with. And I really concur with that, because, you know, now's not the time for me to go into, you know, the power of the mind and what the mind's capable of doing, and about thought and how thought affects action and how thought affects, you know, your body chemically and your brain, how it works neurologically and stuff like that. For those of you that are interested, you guys can research. But just imagine now, if I do go to take chemo and every part of me, mind, body and soul is saying, should I just jump out the car?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Yeah.
Mind, body and soul is saying to me, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Then the chances are that I'm not going to react well to this chemotherapy. So then I sent them a next email saying, look, I just want to just delay it for a little while. I just want to do my own thing. And now we're looking at going to Germany. So that's where we are right now, guys. Sorry for the long update. Let me just jump out here, yeah? But thank you guys for listening attentively. And inshallah ta'ala, I'll update you next week. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.